Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast for today. My name is Natalie Ledwell, and I am the founder or co-founder of the revolutionary personal development company called My Movies, and I am the best-selling author of a book called Never in Your Wildest Dreams. And I do these broadcasts a couple of times a week to give you some tips and some information and to share, some insights on how you can affect a change in your life. Well, at least in your day. Let's hope that. So if you are here on the broadcast, please make sure that you say hi. Let me know where you're from so I can give you a little shout out, a little cheerio. And we can enjoy our Friday afternoon together. So today I'm going to be talking about how to use your intuition to find your purpose. Often we are looking outside of ourselves for the answers that we need to make decisions on where to go in life. What is our purpose? What makes us happy? What are our passions? And sometimes all we really need to do is look inside and go in and tap into our inner guidance system to be able to figure out what that is. So I'm going to be sharing some tips with you today on how you can do that. And these are like really practical, easy to do tips to really kind of tap into that. And I'm talking about, finding your purpose, but you could really use, these steps that I'm sharing with you today to get guidance on anything in your life. So it'll be very handy. So let me say some hellos before I get into the broadcast today. I can see Kim Church is here. Hi, Kim. How are you? Christy Kachuk, I think it is from Utah. Hi, how are you? PK is from Kansas. How are you, PK? Cindy Bristow from Flint in Texas. How are you, Christy? Cindy, I should say. Carl Gustav, good to see you here. Carl is my friend from Estonia. I haven't seen you in the last couple of ones, so it's good to see you back. Ash Ransith is from New Zealand. Hey, Ash. Or should I say New Zealand? Michelle Kind, good to see you here, Michelle. It's always great to see you. I've got Mary Marina. Hello, how are you? Malcolm Free, good to see you back, Malcolm. Donna McGriff, always good to see you, Donna, from Arkansas. Katrin Ray is also from Estonia. Hi, how are you, darling? Rada Vuxen is from Canada, and I've got Kesh from London. Hi, Kesh. Giselle Mongrain, how are you? Jennifer Williams is from Barbados. Wow, hi. How are you, Jennifer? Anne Johnson from the Sunshine Coast in Australia. Go Aussie. Sue is from Saskatchewan, I think, in Canada. Don't know how to say that. Crispeth, hello. From Venezuela, a Venezuelan living in Chile. Wow. That's a big shout out to South America. Great to see you here, Crispeth. Ibrahim is from Jordan. Hi, Ibrahim. Great to have you here on the broadcast today. Giselle's from Canada. We've got Femi from Ireland. Hi. And I've got Terry Collier again. How are you, Terry? And Larson from Casablanca. Wow, coming in from all over the place. This is fantastic. So as I was saying before, today I'm actually going to be giving you some very easy to apply steps that you can take to tap into your intuition to figure out, what is your life purpose. And like I said, we're talking about purpose today, but you could use these tips for anything that you need some guidance on, you need to make a decision on. Okay, so the first tip I want to talk about is meditation. Now, we all know that meditation is great, but you can get quite creative with the way that you meditate when you're tapping into your intuition to get some guidance. Okay, so you don't necessarily need to be sitting down, eyes closed, meditating, and trying to clear your mind. I mean, that's a great way to meditate. But if you are looking for guidance and want to tap into your intuition, what I recommend is you don't necessarily have to be seated with your eyes closed at all. You could actually be walking on the beach or walking in nature somewhere or doing something that you enjoy doing, but that's kind of repetitive. That you can get into a rhythm with. Like, let's say that you're going for a walk, really focus on your breathing, looking around, being grateful for what you see, getting into that heart space. And then when you go, this is like a form of meditation, and then just ask a question. So the question could be, you know, what is my purpose? And then just stay quiet long enough, notice the thoughts that are coming through, and stay quiet long enough to hear the answer. So when you're in an inspiring environment like that, and your heart is open, and you are asking a specific question, and you are open to receiving, you will be very surprised at what can come through for you at that point. Okay, so that's the first tip. Second tip is to let your aha moments guide you. Now, what we mean by this is that, let's say that you have a brainstorm. You're like, oh my God, that's a brilliant idea. Often we go, that's a great idea, and we don't write it down. And then after, you know, we're having a stressful day, and then it's completely gone and we forget about it. So with your aha moments and your brilliant ideas, make sure that you just send yourself an email. What I do is I send myself an email on the phone. So I've got it, you know, or I write a note, or I do like a little voice, you know, a voice memo. So I have it, so I remember it. And make sure that you go back. I mean, I've got lots of notes, but you got to make sure you go back and watch the notes and read the notes and listen to the voice memos as well. And even when you're in a conversation, let's say that you're in a conversation and you're negotiating with somebody, and you get this strong feeling or this strong thought that you really shouldn't be pushing them on a decision for today. Make sure that you take notice of that thought and act on it. You know, or maybe you're in a conversation with someone, and you know, for example, you could be having an argument with your spouse, and then you have this fleeting thought and see them as a child. Or maybe, you know, what you should do is then go, okay, well, I need to nurture their inner child. So really take note of these, you know, moments that come up, these aha moments, because this is your intuition trying to tell you and show you, you know, what the right action is in that moment. Okay, so make sure that you let those aha moments guide you. Okay, let me say a few more hellos while I'm here. I've got Shannon Simmons. Hi, hey, hi, y'all. Hot here in the heart of Texas. I bet it is. Hi, Shannon. Lisa Furtado from California. Hi. I got Ruth. Hi, Ruth. Good to see you here. Vimanlik is from Thailand. Hi, how are you? Nebosa, I think it is from Belgrade in Serbia. Wow, welcome to the broadcast today. So great to have you here. Tanya Cooper. Hey, how are you, Tanya? Liz Wolf is from California. Hi. I got Janella Gracie from Canada. Hi, how are you? Ash is loving the topic. Excellent. And Bill, so is Liz and Bill Harmon. Hi, Bill. I've been meditating for 30 years. All I have to do is think, and my brain knows what to do, right? And this is when we get into the practice of this, you know, that, you know, and I'm going to talk a little bit, that's one of my other tips, and I'll get to that in a minute, but getting into the practice of that. Okay, so now we're going to go on to step number 3. Tip number 3 is to pay attention to your body's signals. Our body is a very intuitive vessel. And you know that, you know, when we have hits of intuition, and if you have experienced this before, you know you can feel it in your body. And you want to honor your body. You know, if you're sad, cry. You know, if you're feeling angry, you know, get the anger out, and then really, you know, check in with your body and go, okay, well, where's this coming from? Why, you know, why is this showing up? You know, make sure that any emotions that you're feeling, move through those emotions. That's really important that you do that. And really pay attention to your health. You know, that especially with our chakra system, we know that if we have an ailment or some dis-ease in certain parts of the body, we can relate it back to different chakras, and, you know, to figure out what is going on in our life and what we need to look at and what we need to tap into. So make sure that you really honor your body and really pay attention to the signals that it's trying to send you, because it really does know best. And it's a lot more intelligent than we think sometimes. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4 is to have a Q&A with God, or a Q&A with Source, or the universe, or, you know, whatever you'd like to call that. So there's a 3-step process to doing this. First of all, you need to make sure you have a pen and paper, and I, you know, would recommend getting a journal. And so what you do is you have a specific question. So you'll sit down, start writing, and write the question at the top of the page. So the question might be, what is my purpose? Okay, then you want to start writing. Now, you don't judge what you're writing. Don't stop and edit. Don't correct spelling mistakes. Just write. Now, you might be writing gibberish at first and might not seem to be making sense, but just keep writing, because as you keep writing, what happens is that, God or source is actually coming through you. It's such an incredible way to really discover, how to make certain decisions. If you've read any books like, Conversations with God, I know Mike Dooley has, a book out as well. And most of these guys are just, I know Neil Donald Walsh, who wrote Conversations with God, teaches people how to write like this, so that, God is channeling through you. So make sure that that you have a Q&A with God or with source or with, with the universe. So the next tip is to start a daily practice of praying or asking or reaching out, or, whatever you want to call this process, especially if you don't really need anything in the moment. You want to get into the habit of always asking a question. Now, I know that I have shared with you before that my practice of doing this is in the mornings. As I'm waking up, my eyes are still asleep, my brain's just starting to kick in. I'm in theta brainwave activity, so it means that as I'm coming out of sleep, I'm more in coherence with the universe, or with source energy, and in that place, I ask a question. And I've got in the habit of always asking a question. And it might be something as simple as, well, what do I need to do today? Or it could be something as big as, what is my purpose? What direction am I going? So, make sure that you get into the habit of doing this. And that way, when you ask the bigger questions, like, what is my purpose? You already have a habit or a practice of doing this, and you trust the information that's coming through. Okay. And when you get into that place of trust and surrender, into the habit of always asking the question, you find it so much easier for the answer to come through to you. Now, again, remember that when you ask the question, you want to stay quiet long enough for the answers to come through. Okay. So start doing a practice of that. All right, let me say a few more hellos. Wow, there's got lots of people here today. This is fantastic. Let's see. I've got Patty Jordan from Maryland. How are you? I've got Renata from Nelson in New Zealand. Hi, Renata. Tadavik is from Toronto. Hi. Eve Kibblewine from Adelaide. Hi, Eve. I bet it's nice and warm down there. Susan Leahy, good to see you here, darling. Marty Penrose, hello to you. Crispeth, you feel your breathing differently when something is where. Yeah, so when you are purposely focusing on your breathing, when you're going through, like a nature walk, and you're wanting to ask this question, focusing on your breathing is really designed to help you to, quieten your monkey mind. You're just focusing on one thing. It's taking out all that extra chatter, so that when you ask that question, you've got the space and for intuition, and to hear that voice of intuition to come through. Jackie Gibson, hello. You're from the UK. Hi, Jackie. Ash, is there any idea with the eye twitching? It's stopped now, but it's back. Sorry, Ash, I can't help you with that. You might have to see a doctor or something. I'm not sure. Julie Searing, good to see you here, darling. And Sarata is from Washington, D.C. Hi. Oh, and I've got Annie Pierce from the Isle of Man. Wow, fantastic. People coming from all over the world. I love it. Okay, so next tip is to pay attention to the signs. So if we're in the habit of asking the question, we want to make sure that we then go throughout our day noticing the coincidences and the synchronicities as they come through. Notice that, when you have an idea, sometimes something will show up in your day or in your morning that is a validation that that is the right course of action, or that was actually the right advice, or that's, that you should be listening to your inner guidance system. So make sure that you pay attention to the signs as you're moving through your day, okay? Very important. Number 7 is to keep an intuition journal. So this is very similar to what we were saying before. When you're asking the question, you can do that just as a once-off, or make a habit of doing that. Again, if you're in the habit and you're asking the questions and you're writing these things down, and also, make sure that when you have had an intuitive hit, and you've taken action on it, keep a journal of what happened as a result of you taking action and trusting that voice that you heard, because this is kind of like an evidence journal. You know, you're building social proof that that the voice that you hear is is a good voice. This is something that you want to listen to. Okay, so and you keep gathering all that evidence and keeping it in that journal. Very important. And the last tip I have on using your intuition to find your purpose is to distinguish between the intuition voice and the fearful or wishful thinking voice. The difference between the two is that the intuition voice is only focusing on the present moment. It is focusing on now. It is focusing on, actions or things or idea that can be implemented now. Wishful thinking and stress or fearful thinking is more about what if. Well, what if this happens? And you're going into all these scenarios going, what if this happens? So with something like that, that is just wishful thinking and fearful thinking. You do not want to listen to that voice. That's a no to that voice, because most of the time you're just, creating scenarios that will probably never, ever happen. So you don't want to go down that road. So you know that the voice of intuition is focusing on the now and is focusing on the present moment. Okay, great. Okay, so let me say a few more hellos before we head into our weekend. I hope you've got something fabulous organized for this weekend, and it's nice and sunny wherever you are. It'll be fabulous. Abraham was saying that a lot of tears come through in meditation. What does that mean? So Abraham, I think that if you have tears coming through, often when I'm meditating and I have tears, it's because I've tapped into this amazing field of love and gratitude. And sometimes that can be really overwhelming for my soul and overwhelming for my human form. So if that's what's coming through for you, and you can feel that this is, a joy-filled emotion, then I think that's a great thing, and you're doing an amazing meditation. So that's awesome. Michelle Benny, hi. She's saying, love your lives and work. Very helpful and motivating. Thank you. Jackie Cook from the UK, good to see you, darling. Teresa Kimino, good to see you here as well. Joseph Gaddy. Hi, Joseph. Good to see you here too. And Gail Richards is from Perth. Hi, Gail. Good to see some Aussies on here as well. We seem to be coming in from all over the place, all over the world. So I'm getting towards the end of my broadcast now. I do have a fun and quick little quiz. I know my team is going to put a little link here that you can do this. And 30 seconds, but the quiz is really helping you figure out what your number one limiting belief is and what you can do about it, which is, awesome. It's one of our really popular quiz. We've had millions of people take this quiz. So if you haven't had the opportunity to do that, make sure you click on the link here, so we can figure out what that number one limiting belief or the success blocker is for you. Because, life is too short to be held back, by something that we know could completely clear, that we could help you with, so that you really live a life of purpose and meaning and fulfillment. So guys, thank you for joining me. I won't be broadcasting next week. I will be away for the week. So I'm actually going to Burning Man for the first time. And after reading the book Stealing Fire, I read about how incredible and loving the community is, how they have like a no trace policy. Art installations. I'm really looking forward to experiencing that for the first time in my life. So I will be seeing you on the other side of that, which will be the following week. So have a fantastic weekend, everyone. Thank you for joining. Bye for now.